Hi there, and this is a little video on me telling you all about the tutorials that I will have available on the Groen Equestrian coaching platform. So I have created a very large, and I think the largest and still increasing platform of information on endurance, and I hope that this will give access for loads of people anywhere in the world to share what I've learned in my 20+ now years of endurance. So I've always wanted to do that. I've always been thinking like there should be a place where there's loads of information on endurance, and I've never been able to find it. So I was like, why not create one myself? And I feel it's very important that we as endurance riders educate ourselves, because it means that we can really make sure that the welfare of our horses, our equine athletes, is paramount, and they can perform to the best of their ability. So the more we know, the better they can perform, and hopefully without injury, because sometimes not knowing can cause an injury. So that's why I've created this, and I'm hoping that you will all have a look and find the information that you need. So there's a lot of information there at the start, and I will be adding on and adding on and adding on. So sometimes one of the tutorials might not be available yet, but it will come. But it is a lot of work, as you can understand. So so keep looking and keep checking. And once I've recorded everything that is on this outline, then give me suggestions for more, or I probably have found suggestions for more. So how do you get access to all of this? You might already be a free member of the Groen Equestrian endurance community, but if you're not, then first is sign up for the free membership, and then as a membership member, you can browse all the free videos as many times as you like, and as many times as you can stand my voice. And the rest of the series will require a small fee to watch, I'm afraid, because there needs to be some kind of income for all my work, but it won't be much, I promise you. And you can purchase those and view them for a certain amount of time. Say, for instance, you've purchased one of the series, you can see that for a whole month, and as many times as you like, and you can pause and start and relook and whatever. You can also do an all access, and you can get all access to everything. Then there's also the an online endurance coaching, endurance step by step, in which I will help you even more, because you'll get tutorials, but we also do a workbook that will help you with structuring your whole season, and the rest, and also other little assignments. We have a support group in Facebook, and also I do support with monthly Q&A sessions. So that is a lot, and that will answer all your questions. Now I'm going to tell you a bit about the tutorials, because that's what this video is about, and that's what you came for. So you might have skipped the previous stuff. So there's 11 series with each 8 or more tutorials, so that is a lot. So there's the free introduction series starting with endurance, so you can have that in the free section for the members of the community. And then there's 8 ones that are part of the online endurance coaching: preparing your season, what's inside the horse, training principles to turn training into the theory into actual training, competing, so everything that will happen on and around the day, management, so that is quite important, I find, as well. Riding exercise, I'm very much into the quality of riding, and then we as riders have quite a heavy burden to carry as well, so we need to be at our best as well. Then I've got some extra ones that are getting to a distance, and about finding your own endurance horse if you want to go for a new one. If you don't have already one, you might, and anything that comes up after that. But this is the outline that I've started with, and I think it's plenty. It will take me a while to get everything done. So Starting with endurance, you might have already, if you're a free member, you might have already seen one, but there'll be 8 free talks in that, and it's very much about how endurance works, and very useful if you're starting. But even if you're already doing endurance, they might come in handy, because there is good bits of information that you might not have had, or give you a little bit of an idea how to structure things. So I hope that will help you. So they have it's 8 tutorials on that, and the first 5 are really about beginning endurance and how to go about it, a little bit of training in that, a little bit about different types of horses. And then the last 3 are a little bit more about what you want to do if the bug is bitten, and if you want to do a bit more. So you might want to try multiple day endurance, you might even want to advance to international endurance, and might want to know a little bit more about the type of horse you need for that. So that is what all of those are about. So they're free, and we'll move to the tutorials that will require a small fee. You can go to the plans option for those. So the plans then give you a way to pay for them. So the first one, and I find that a crucial one for me, is preparing your upcoming season. And to know what you're going to do is crucial. So there is 9 talks in this series, and the intro is free, and that will explain about what we're going to be talking about. So this is just a quick glance, if you like. So they're all about the preparing step by step, because I find that very important, what you need to do to get ready for a new season. So I find that very, very helpful, because doing a logical way of doing that, a logical structured system, will help you to prepare. And all these tutorials are about that. So assessing what your situation is, where you live, what kind of horse you have. Really look back and evaluate and assess the horse that you have, your equipment. The balance of conformation and movement is really, really, really important, because it will give you pointers of what to look for and what to improve. Then there might be a lot of other factors outside the horse, your crew, how many rides there are, what kind of terrain the rides are, all kinds of things that you might want to check. And then we can set goals. Once we know that, we can set goals and have an idea of how long those goals will take us to be gotten, if we're lucky and don't have any little setbacks on the way. And we probably will, because that is part of life, isn't it? And then we can actually start planning the upcoming season. So I do this every year with every horse, even if I've done the horse, if I've ridden a horse for years and years. I do look back. Sometimes I do it sort of in my mind, sometimes I write it all down, but looking back, writing it down and having it on paper will give you a good thing to look back, and sometimes you forget things. Then I do really like this theories, because I'm a bit nerdy, so I like knowing a lot about what's going on inside the horse, the scientific part of it, if you like. And I will promise you I won't get too scientific, but again, we have an intro in which I will tell you what the series will be about, so a bit more in depth than what I'm telling you now. And there's 9 tutorials in this series that will all focus on a part of the horse inside. So first, a sort of summary, because what is inside, the trait, the intrinsic traits of your horse will define its talent for endurance and the type of endurance you can do. So heart, muscles, energy, and lungs are the 4 sort of major, not 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 major factors. But don't forget that other organs can be very important as well. Your horse's bone, cartilage, and tendons, Hormones can play a big part, and of course the temperament of your horse can make a huge difference as well. So I find that, and I promise I won't get too scientific, but it is very important. I will make some of these available separately because I find, for instance, heart and muscles and lungs very, very important. And I find that sometimes if you don't know about how those interact, very, very important, and it will tell you a lot about your horse and what it can do. Now, this again is a little bit more abstract, I suppose, the training principles for endurance. There are also the previous two were all part of the endurance coaching, and this one is as well. So the intro, again, in which I will tell you about this series and whether it's interesting for you to purchase or not. And then we have 8 tutorials that really look at what you need to prepare and how you take the steps to build up towards that goal and help you understand how your horse can be different to another horse, and how the steps to take fit will be different perhaps. You are the trainer of your horse. I'm here, I can help you, but I can help you by feeding information. You are going to be the one that is going to put all that information together for your horse. So we're going to look at the different situations, sort of looking back on the first tutorial about preparation for our season. And once we've done that, we know how long we might take for preparing. So we're structuring the season, training principles and stimuli that I find very, very important, realizing when you're training and when you're just riding, because training is actually making the horse fitter. Riding is giving it exercise, not adding anything extra. You might use it for quality work and use it to make the horse move better, and that is very valuable. But training, as in fitness, is a different thing. So I'm hoping in this series to tell you all about that. One is a little bit more tricky, the aerobic and anaerobic threshold. That is a bit more scientific, but it is very, very important and very good to understand that, because if you're going too quick, you are training the wrong thing. So it is vital, valuable theory. And again, I won't get too scientific. I'll try to make it palatable, if you like. So this is where it becomes interesting, right? Because we're going to turn that theory into the actual training. And again, you'll have a free intro to have a good idea of what we're talking about. And then we're going to play with actually making your own training schedule and your actual day-to-day or week-to-week work. And that will be your thing. If you're in the coaching, or if you feel that you need some help, you can give me a shout, and we can always do a one-on-one talk about your training schedule and see how it's all going, and whether you need some help. So there is a lot of information on this. So we're really working towards making a training schedule and how to turn that training schedule into day-to-day work, thinking of whether your horse is fit enough, whether you're training too much or not enough. And I'm also adding a tutorial about training with a heart rate monitor. Probably will make that available separately. So that is, I find it a handy tool, though it has it's not a be all and end all, because it's not geared. Heart rate monitors and how the numbers are interpreted is not geared towards endurance, but towards racing. So that has its little tricky things. So if you want to buy this series, I would advise you not to get this as a standalone, but with the previous one. The theory is good to have with it, but see how you go. Then we're going to start competing. Yay. So all the preparation, all the planning, all the making of schedules is done, and we can have a look at what we're actually going to do on the day. So again, an intro and then 8 tutorials, and we're really going to look at competition day and everything around competition day, and how that can how you can make that as stress and problem free. So again, planning, getting everything ready, making sure that that horse is top fit. So you have to rest and taper it properly, not too long, not too short, which is tricky, and I still struggle with that. Riding, the difference between riding and training and riding in the competitive ride, the ride strategy you might have, and then a few things about big competitions and multiple day competitions. So I have added 4 extra talks in this series. What a ride day would look like in an under 40k, over 40k, how a multiple day ride days would look like, and how a competitive FEI ride would look like. So that is an added to a bonus to this series. Management, really crucial. And again, 8 and an intro, and we have to look at our management, how we feed, how we shoe, how we train in a bit, but we've already discussed that. But the combination of the training, how our horse lives, and everything around it is really important. So housing of the horse, temperament, tendon joint risk, feeding, how different types of horses can be different in management. I find that endurance, even though it looks very individual, is a team sport. You do need a very good team around you, and I do feel that your crew is part of your team because they can give you important feedback, and then we'll do some problem solving, common problems you encounter in endurance horses. And also we as riders have some issues that are frequently that come up frequently, so that is important. I feel that everything is connected, and sometimes when you encounter a problem in a ride, it might actually have been a management problem or a training problem, or when your horse has an injury, it might have got something to do with the way you're riding or something that you struggle with. So it is all part of one big circle, and to get every part of that as good as possible is really important to get to your goal safely and healthily with a horse that is fit to continue and do more. So let's talk about some riding exercises, because I do feel the quality of the riding will make or break your result. Again, 8 tutorials and an intro, and the intro is free, and I will tell you all about it. This, I think, no, this is the not the last one in the coaching series, but nearly the last. Yeah, so we're really going to look at making your horse move in a healthy way, because it's doing so many steps. It's doing really long rides, and even if you're doing 2 hours, it needs to be looking after itself, and you need to be looking after itself in those 2 hours. And if we progress to 3, 5, 6 or 8 hours, then you know that is a thing. So if they do 8 hours slightly crooked, then that is an extra, that is a very added risk. So we'll talk about working hand lunging, and something I really feel strong about: the quality versus the quantity. The quantity needs to be spot on, but we've nothing without the quality in it. Endurance exercises in the school, endurance exercise to do while we're riding out. Something I really care about is control and riding in a group. I feel that it's really important to be able to ride in with others and control your speed. And another thing is really important is pace versus speed, and why the pace of the ride, so the steady going is so important. And then some common riding problems that can turn into problems or injuries. So there's quite a bit. For me, it is very important to do this, even though this comes at the end of the whole coaching and it's quite late in the whole sort of build up. It is very important But I mean, yeah, everybody wants to learn about training strategy and training schedules first, but do focus on the quality of your work. That's what I want to say. Now, we as riders, we're important. The horse might be the doing the most of the actual physical work, but our mind, motivation, and our skills are crucial. So this is the last of the series that is in the coaching. Again, an intro that is free and will be a bit more in depth and tell you a bit more about everything that's going on. And yeah, we're training with our body, so our body needs to be fit, but our mind needs to be fit as well. We need to be straight. A bit of map reading is handy. And we have to look after ourselves. Sometimes we don't eat and drink as well as we need to. So then we're going to have a look at how the training will affect our body and mind versus the competing. And just a little bit on that, sometimes it can be a bit tough. I mean, it's called endurance, and I think at some point I started something with endurance rider masochist. It's true, and we're toughies, and sometimes we're more tough on ourselves than on our body. I mean, how many of you have got the vet out for something minor with the horse, but do not go to your doctor because you have a niggling thing yourself? And then the last one is working on confidence and motivation. So that is a little bit of a pep talk for all of you. So yeah, we are the ones that bring out the best in the horse. And if we don't do it right and don't do our homework or are not fit, we're hindering the horse, and the horse will feel the consequences of that. So we owe it to our horses to be the best rider, mentally and physically, that we can be. So these are not part of the endurance course, and they will be a little bit later coming into the whole section, because I'll focus on all the tutorials for the coach, for the endurance coaching. These will have, it's really about training towards a specific distance. So it's really taking you step by step towards a certain distance. So I'm not going to give you any training plans because I'm actually against that. You need to make that yourself, but I will give you the sort of stepping stones for making that plan. So there are going to be 8 in that, and going up in distance. So what you need to do to train a young horse for pleasure rides, 40Ks, 60 to 80K rides, and so on and so on. Your circumstances, your horse, your everything around what you do and your horse do is what that is going on. So we'll be talking about that, and you will have to fill in the blanks that I can't fill in because I don't know your horse. So these tutorials can be a standalone, so you can buy them separately. I would advise you to have a look at the theoretical series as well to understand the basics behind this. But again, have a look. It is up to you, but that will help. I will repeat some of that. So that's the thing. And then finding your enduring horse. If you have a horse and you want to have another one that really is going to do what you want it to do, and you never know, so I'll warn you, it will be a new journey and new things. These are my 2 beautiful little foals by Bats, and we'll see what the journey brings, but it will be different for every person, every goal you have, and the budget you will have a bit available. But here are a lot of talks about everything that will affect you buying an endurance horse or finding your endurance horse and what you can look for. So genetics are part of it, but I find very much very important is how they grow up, and whether you want an adult one or a youngster, or whether you want to breed your own horse. Some do's and don'ts, very important. And then I will have a little talk for foal to 160, because I've done it with my sweet Marach. And so yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a talk about how all of that went. So you can get all these as a standalone. That is absolutely fine. But remember that any healthy horse that likes to go out can do endurance. So any horse can do endurance, but if you want that horse specifically for endurance, then these will help. Do realize that if you want a very good horse for the top level, they will not be cheap. They will not be a bargain. Sometimes you're lucky, but most of the times you need a little bit of a budget. That's why I breed them, because I can't afford to buy them. So I hope that has given you an idea of everything that I am making. Maybe by the time that you hear this, I've already made everything, but as I record this, I'm in the process of doing everything. So give me a shout if you need any online help that the tutorials are not providing. I can come to you if you're not too far away from me. Yeah, I have, so besides those tutorials, I can help you online as well. Just quickly. So we have the endurance step-by-step, the online coaching problem available in the TAP plan. So, or in the plan tab, not in the TAP plan. That will really structure you and help you, and you have access to me available. Then we can do a really bespoke personal coaching plan up to you, and that will give you weekly help, all the tutorials you need, and we'll go over everything that you need, and we'll check up with each other as much as you need. I can do separate video chats when you need them. So when you feel that you are doing one of the series and you don't understand something, or you want to talk to me about your specific situation and explain a little bit about that, want help with that, we can do that. So browse the website and see what suits you, and give me a shout when you need any help. I'm here, and we can do a lot and see what helps you and your horse. So a very quick bit about the private coaching. So the bespoke thing. If we do a bespoke coaching plan, we'll do an intake first and see if we're compatible, whether I can help you, and then together we can see what plan we're going to make, and we'll do that together step by step. So it is quite an intense program, or especially the 2 first months, because we're really going to work on, I need to get to learn you, to know you and your horse. So yeah, it's on the website, and have a look, and if you want to know more about it, give me a shout. So this is about the personal one-off apps that we've talked about. Send me a message, send me a name, email, and we can have a telephone discussion or a video call discussion for whatever you want to address about your situation. So that is available to anyone doing endurance or any other sport if you feel that I can help you. No intake needed, and it's just whenever you need it, when you need it. We'll just make an appointment and we'll talk. If you want help in this with the training plan, I will need some prep time, of course, to look at all your information. But most of the time we can use all your time to discuss your situation and answer all your questions. So I hope that has given you a good idea of the Groen Equestrian Endurance community coaching options, both in the member section and for more personal direct help. So give me a shout, and I hope you'll enjoy the library of video tutorials that I'm assembling. Any ideas you have are welcome, so give me a shout if you want to know more. And I always beg a little at the end, so maybe you've seen that before, but please share anything that you feel is valuable to others. Let them know that I'm here, that I do this, and the more people know about all of this, the better for me, but I hope for the horses as well. And yeah, just sharing blogs or posts or share the link. It helps. If you feel that what I do is helpful, yeah, please support me, because it's just me. No budget or management team or promotional team or anything. It's just me and my acquired knowledge, so everything that is going around in my mad brain. Thank you, that's great, and I hope you'll enjoy, everybody. Sorry I'm so long-winded, but that's me. I'm afraid you'll find that. So that's why I've cut the tutorials into so many sections, because that at least I'm a bit shorter, a bit not so talkative, which I am. So thank you very much, and I am trying to turn this off now, and I'm so good with all this technology. So thank you, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.